Even as a fierce debate and legal tussle is on in the courts and outside over reported discovery of a shivling from the Wazoo tank inside the Gyanvapi Mosque in Varanasi, after defiance and denials, now the discourse has descended into derision. A series of posts on social media and utterances by people that simply mock the Hindu petitioners and their claim Baba Mil Gaye. What is more appalling is that these are not just insignificant trolls, but people who hold responsible positions in society. Let's run you through some of these posts one by one. Of course, TMC MP Mahuwa Moitra, who is best remembered for having called people who are actually asking for people to contribute towards Ram Janmabhoomi as Chandajivis, today posted, "Ho Bhabha Atomic Research Center is not next on the digging list." Shadab Chauhan of Peace Party, who has also approached Supreme Court against Gyanvapi survey order, said Judge Sahab can seal this area when someone claims it's a shivling. He showed pictures of milestones. Sabha Naqvi, senior journalist, reposted the Bhabha Atomic Research Center meme. However, she later deleted it and apologized. Then there were also offensive posts by people like political analyst Danish Qureshi and DU Professor Ratan Lal, both of whom have now been booked. Danish Qureshi has even been arrested. The insensitive and hurtful comments have sparked naturally anger, with faithfuls questioning why is Hindu beliefs, their faith, up for ridicule. In fact, more news coming in right now. There is anger over the mocking of the finding of a shivling, or the alleged finding of a shivling in Varanasi. Plaintiff's lawyer has called it extremely disgraceful, and VHP working president Alok Kumar has hit out at TMC MP Mahuwa Moitra.
ये भड़काने वाली कार्रवाई है, ये उकसाने वाली कार्रवाई है, ये आस्थाओं का अपमान है। और ऐसे व्यक्ति केवल अपनी सांस्कृतिक क्षुद्रता, अपना बौनापन और छोटापन दिखाते हैं। मैं हिंदू समाज से ये अपील करूंगा कि वो उत्तेजित ना हो और ऐसे लोगों का बहिष्कार करें।
Completely disgraceful. A belief and faith of the Hindu community must not be joked upon. It's not a matter which should be on which meme should be made. If there is belief, faith and aastha of the members of the Muslim community, then there is belief, faith and aastha of the members of the Hindu community, and we have a right to worship under Article 25. So the emotions and the sentiments and the belief and the faith must be respected by all the citizens of this country, and I completely believe that these kind of memes are horrible. They are most disgraceful.
But if that was not enough, the fight for faith is also being dubbed as a tamasha. Senior Congress politicians like Chief Minister of Rajasthan Ashok Gehlot, former Union Minister K. Rahman Khan, said that what is happening right now, the claim being made in court, is nothing more than a tamasha.
क्या आप देख रहे हो क्या तमाशे हो रहे हैं देश के अंदर? अब एक नया तमाशा शुरू कर देंगे वहाँ पर वाराणसी के अंदर। आप देख रहे हो कल टीवी के अंदर सोशल मीडिया में शुरू हो रहा है।
Neither BJP has respect for the act passed by the parliament, nor the people who are doing it. So, it is a tamasha. They are trying to mislead the people of the nation. The law is there, and we have to respect the law.
The BJP, VHP has come out all guns blazing, asking the Congress why they are in a hurry to try and mock at one community. Is it driven by vote bank politics?
देखिए, आज़ादी के बाद से लेकर के आज तक कांग्रेस ने हिंदू और मुसलमानों को हमेशा लड़ाने की कोशिश किया। दोनों में दरार कैसे अधिक से अधिक पैदा की जा सकती है, इसके लिए सुनियोजित प्रयास किया, केवल मुसलमानों के वोट प्राप्त करने की।
Tuin Sinha, spokesperson of BJP, joins us along with Shriraj Nair, spokesperson of Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Sanjay Jha, suspended Congress leader, and Mujeeb Ur Rehman, advocate. Tuin Sinha, a lot of people are saying it's just a joke. Lighten up.
You know, Padmaja, while history will hold Aurangzeb responsible for the destruction that he did in 1669, sadly, people like Ashok Gehlot Sabha Naqvi and the like have kept the Aurangzeb mentality alive. How dare you mock Hindus? Sabha Naqvi, I think, if Times Now has not taken a stand against her, will you entertain her as a guest from now on? Somebody who's mocking the faith of Hindus, proudly forwarding WhatsApp forwards which are specifically meant to insult the faith. So I think
to be fair to her, she has deleted and apologized. She has apologized.
In the first place, these are habitual. These people habitually apologize. First they commit a sin and then they apologize. But the larger point over here is it is the Congress party which started the whole trend of insulting Hindu faith in 2005 when they filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court denying the existence of Lord Ram. And today Ashok Gehlot has done the same. He's calling it a tamasha. It is the Congress party which has been reduced to a tamasha. So while people like Sabha Naqvi are smaller players in the game, it is the Congress party which needs to be held responsible. It is about time they respect the faith, or else they would, completely be wiped out of India.
Actually, it's a serving member of Parliament of the Trinamool Congress who has tweeted the exact same thing that Sabha Naqvi did earlier. She's not deleted it. She's not even apologized for it. Mahua Moitra also thinks that Bhabha Atomic Research Center, the nuclear reactor, looks like a Shivling. You think that's okay, Sanjay Jha? A mainstream politician, and it's also her electorate. You may not agree with it, but how is that funny?
Padmaja, first, when I committed to your show, I was expecting to be home, but I've had to step out for a brief bit. Therefore, I'm just trying to do this while I'm in a vehicle that's just gone stationary. So my apologies to the panelists and to yourself to begin with. Let me keep my answer very brief. I don't think anybody in their right mind is going to mock any religion. I have read some of the tweets. I think a fundamental point that the Congress party is making is that there is a constitutional provision today under the Places of Worship Act 1991. And while, my good friend Tuhin has a right to his Aastha, and I have a right to my own passionate beliefs, we all are living in a country which is a democracy, which has a law. And that law is no different from him and his leader, Mr. Narendra Modi. It is no different from me, or for that matter, any other leader that I choose to be with. The bottom line is there is a law, and that law, as per today's reading, and I would request Tuhin Sinha not to kind of indulge in further vitriolic vehemence on your show.
No, just a second.
But if he reads the act,
this is not about the law. The law is going to be upheld or struck down either way by the Supreme Court. The point today is, while the matter is in court, why ridicule people? You may not believe in it. You may think that a Shivling is a matter of a joke. People don't. People take these things seriously.
You know what, Padmaja,
why make tasteless jokes?
Padmaja, I have read the Supreme Court verdict of 2019 on Ayodhya, and I can tell you it's very categorical that it intends to uphold the Place of Worship Act 1991.
Sir, this is not about Places of Worship Act. My simple question is, do you think it's okay for mainstream politicians and social influencers to mock an issue, to mock somebody's belief and faith?
I started by telling you that it is preposterous for any individual in our country to mock anybody else's faith in a religion. I'm talking about the more fundamental issue of what the BJP and its Sangh Parivar is trying to do, is to brazenly play out a political game, because at the end of the day, if they haven't read the law...
So like Ashok Gehlot, you think it's a basically it's a tamasha. You're saying it's a tamasha, like Mr. Gehlot has said.
I'm saying at this point of time that the BJP is in a clear mode to try and polarize this country. That's all I know,
Shriraj
and that's pretty...
Shriraj Nair.
I am sad that even after being shown the door by the Congress party to Mr. Sanjay Jha, he is still speaking the language of his erstwhile leader, Rahul Gandhi. And first of all, any mistake, which is done twice or thrice is not a mistake, it's a habit. Congress party, unfortunately, hasn't learned a single lesson from the mistakes of the past. Even after politically and electorally wiped out from the scene, they are still committing the same mistake. And it is again here, Mr. Ashok, I have listened to Mr. Ashok Gehlot and many other leaders, Mr. Rehman. It is absolutely disgusting. They just want to, I don't know what are they up to. They want to finish their own parties. Now, do they have the guts to even talk about a single thing about the Islamic they know what is going to happen, what happened during the Charlie Hebdo. Hindus are the most tolerant people on this planet. That is why these people are taking Hindus for granted. But please, we understand, for everything there is a limit. We will have the last laugh. Please understand. All those who are mocking and laughing, we are clearly saying we will have the last laugh. Everything, and there is a court matter going on. The Honorable Court is going to deliver the verdict. Why are we making a mockery? Who are these people? So
Mujeeb Ur Rehman.
this is just a sad
Why
state
mock?
of affairs, and they're sick people. They're sick.
Now let me speak. Now let me speak. Your time is over.
Don't decide my time, my dear friend.
Few people within Hindu community are making mockery of their own faith by calling a fountain a Shivling without any evidence, just because they believe. That's it. And now it's not the only here. I am showing you one photograph here. It's from San Francisco, where a traffic barricade was being used as a Shivling and was worshipped for years. And later on, police removed it. So just because of shape of, because it's a very common shape, anything can happen, be like a Shivling.
But in San Francisco,
so you cannot,
sir,
you cannot
in San
associate your faith.
Francisco, was there a temple?
Your faith with everything.
Was there a
Looks
temple
like
made centuries ago?
Let me finish. You
That
cannot
San
associate
Francisco
your
Park,
faith with each and everything.
was it
Looks like a
historically
Shivling.
known as
You
the
should
birthplace?
respect the faith of other people also. Everything which looks like a Shivling cannot be Shivling.
Okay, go on, Shriraj Nair. San Francisco, they started worshipping a traffic
See,
barricade.
there is a court matter. The already Honorable Supreme Court has also.
How do you know that
urged
that's a
the state
Shivling?
government
How
to
do you
take
know?
care of the
My
Shivling.
question is, how
Why
do you
are
come
you
to know
jumping
that
the gun?
it's a
Let the
Shivling?
court
How
decide
do
on
you
it.
come to know?
Let the court
Then how
decide
do you
who
come
are
to
you
know?
people to
My
mock?
question is, then how do you come
And
to
when
know?
Hindus or anybody
So
mocks
then
about
how
your
do you
Allah
come
or
to
your
know?
prophet,
Which
you
was a
kill them.
fountain from last
You chop their
350
heads.
years. How
Such
do you
is the
come to know
intolerancy
suddenly that
in
after
your
350
community?
years that
You can do all
it's
these
a
things
Shivling, not
because
fountain?
Hindus are the most tolerant
How
people.
do you come to
But
know?
don't
You have no
force them
answer to
become
my question.
intolerant
Mister, you
and
have no
animals
answer
like
to
you.
my
Please
question.
understand.
You have no answer to
There
my
is an animal
question.
instinct
You have
in
no
any
answer.
human being.
You have
Don't
no
awaken
answer.
the
How do
animal
you come to
instinct
know
of the
after
Hindus.
350
Please,
years that suddenly
please.
it's not a fountain but a Shivling? How do you come to know? Just give the reply.
Let the court decide. Who the hell are you to
So
talk
then
about this?
who the hell are you to
Why
call
the
it a
hell you mock
Shivling?
about
Then who
Hindus?
the hell are you to
Why
call it
the
a
hell you
Shivling?
mock about
Then who the
Shivling?
hell are you to call it a Shivling? Then who the hell are you to call it a Shivling? It's a fountain. Because it's a
Arre, so
fountain
who
since
said
last
let the court
350
come
years.
out? There is
Let
a
it
matter
decide
in
by
the
the
court.
court
Wait
if
for
it's
2-3
not a
days.
fountain or not.
Why are you mocking the judicial system of this country?
You are making
Mr. Rehman, answer the question. Mr. Rehman, answer the question that when the Charlie Hebdo cartoon happened and people were killed because of it, the immediate restraint was it was in bad taste, one should not do it. While people criticize the violence, even those people said, listen, you should respect religious sensitivity.
You rightly jumped from
but it does
one
not,
question to the other question
but it
just
does
to
not
save
apply
your
to
panelists.
everyone.
But I have answer for that question also. Firstly, the thing is, you intentionally insulting that we are going to insult our prophet. So certainly you will be punished according to the law. You will be punished. Here
According to the law, a woman wearing a Charlie Hebdo t-shirt was stabbed.
A fountain from last 350 years. So you must have some evidence to prove that it's a Shivling, not a fountain. And if you have not proved, you have not find a single
Sir,
evidence.
so you are saying that was intentional insult.
You to call it a Shivling.
Tuin Sinha, that was an intentional insult. This is not an intentional insult.
You are trying to make
I
a
don't
public
know
opinion
how
that it's not
ignorant
a
this
fountain.
gentleman is about history, because till 1992,
influence the
that
court
place, the disputed site, was a site of worship 365 days of the year. The worship at that spot was stopped by Mulayam Singh Yadav, who is equally as guilty as Aurangzeb. Secondly, my good friend Sanjay has been bringing the Places of Worship Act, the 2-page act. If he reads it more minutely, it carries certain exemptions. Now, it is for the court to decide whether those exemptions apply in this case or not. Why are we jumping the gun? But the fact is, again, turning back to the other gentleman, the pro-mosque gentleman, let me ask him, how does that mosque get its name Gyanvapi? Can he find out, can he tell me about any other mosque in the world which has that name Gyanvapi?
So you will demolish a mosque because it has a
Obviously,
Hindu
there are
name.
40,000
So now you will demolish
temples.
each and every mosque
There are
which will be found and having a
40,000
Hindi
temples
name.
which you
So you are
destroyed.
going to demolish
Please
each
don't
and every
keep
mosque
Aurangzeb
which
alive
found a
to your
Hindi
thought
name.
process. The way to closure is acceptance and acknowledgement of the truth. At least do that. That is all we are expecting.
So you do not like the Hindi name of the mosque?
Please,
What's the problem
let
with
me
you?
make it clear. Unlike the Ram Mandir, this is not a title dispute. It is the fight for restoration, of the status which existed in 1992. Hindus should be allowed to pray at that site the way it used to happen.
From 1992, 30 years have passed. 30 years have passed. From 1990 to 30 years have passed. And under the Limitation Act, under Section 3, there is a
Mr. Rahman, here's the thing. You might think that Charlie Hebdo was a deliberate provocation, but people like Shriraj Nair and Tuhin Sinha also think that these memes are a deliberate provocation. Especially when the matter is in court. They have a belief. They have a belief which has taken them to court, and they think that this is a deliberate provocation. It's not a joke, Mr. Rehman.
Padmaja, can I make a...
No, I will reply. From last 30 years, if they were stopped in 1992, 30 years have passed. Why they were waiting for? For which they were waiting for? 30 years have passed now, and even under the Limitation Act, you can apply for possession or deposition of any place. 12 years. So they are already 18 years late by the law.
Okay, sir, again, there is no time limit within which a law has to be invoked. That's point number one. And point number two, you're still not answering why your provocation remains a deliberate provocation, but when someone else feels hurt, it's supposed to be that they are oversensitive. Last word from you, Sanjay Jha.
Well, Padmaja, all I want to say is this. When the Places of Worship Act 1991 was passed, there was a reason why the cutoff date was taken as August 15th, 1947. Because after 1947, when we became independent, we were committed to a secular country, a liberal country, a progressive country, a religiously tolerant country. And that is exactly what the Sangh Parivar today is trying to overturn.
You're on the money when you say you're supposed to be secular, tolerant, and sensitive. And secular also means that all religions are treated at par. So you cannot say that don't insult this religion, but somebody else's belief is up for jokes. That is also the definition of a secular country. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Tomorrow, like I said, is going to be a very important day in court. Times Now will keep you ahead. Quick break.